Welcome, guys. Oh my god. Okay, this is episode 1 of Talking Kaka. If you're watching this, thank you for being here. Let's just start it off. I have no damn business starting a podcast, but welcome. Now, let's just start with like a little bit of an introduction to me. I feel like a lot of you listening right now probably already know who I am. Hello, thank you for being here. If you don't, my name is Kalu, K-A-L-U, it's Tongan. I live in Sydney, I work full-time at an arcade. I can't say what arcade because I'm pretty sure that company has like 1 million policies, so I can't name names. But I have stories. We'll get into that at some point. But yes, this is my podcast, guys. Holy crap. Like I said, I really have no business starting a podcast, but we're giving it a shot anyway. I could be recording this and I just never post it. I could do the whole podcast and it turns out that this microphone sounds like shit, which I'm hoping is not the case because I paid $1.50 for this microphone. Because look, the thing with me is, as you can tell by this setup, it's nothing special. I have my couch. I'm in my house. I have my couch. I have some janky little neon lights that I got from work, and I have a ring light. That's it. The only thing that I actually spent money on was this mic. Like I said, it cost $1, and if it's shit, this bitch is going on Marketplace so fast. So hopefully it sounds good. This podcast, it's called Talking Kaka, and the reason why I called it Talking Kaka was when I was talking to people about wanting to start the podcast, we were trying to discuss names and what would sound catchy and what would sound fun. The whole thing that drew me to wanting to even do this in the first place was I would just come on here and talk shit. You know, I wouldn't have a niche, I wouldn't have a theme, because that limits me to what I can really talk about. So by having no theme and no niche, I can talk about whatever I want. And if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And if you don't, suck my pussy. But yes, I was thinking, I can just come on here and talk some shit. And yeah, I was discussing with my brother's fiance. And like I said, a funny nickname for me in my family is Kaka. Now, if you don't know what that means, bless your soul. But Kaka in multiple languages actually means shit. So talking shit, talking Kaka. My name's Kalu, so Talking Kaka was born. And here we are. I got it off the ground. I was talking about it for ages. And basically how it started was because I was in the city one day and I was eating tanghulu. Now, if you don't know what tanghulu is, basically it is sugar-coated candy, melted sugar. Like a candy coating, sorry. But it's like skewers with like fruit on them, and they're covered in that sugar coating. And when you bite into it, it's like this really thin layer of like, and it's just super crunchy. And then you get like the juices of the fruit, and it's fucking delicious. And I tried it, and I was like, this would make amazing ASMR. And I was like, fuck, I really want to start an ASMR channel. Hello. And then I was talking with a coworker about it, about how I really wanted to start an ASMR channel, and they were like, you should do a podcast. You've got stories. And I was like, fuck, don't get me started, actually. Don't get me started. Don't put this thought in my head, because if I get this thought and I get an idea, I'm going to do it. Because that's the thing about me. I love a little side quest. I love little adventures. I love doing things for the plot. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I might just start a podcast. It'd be fun. It would be me just coming here once a week, talking some shit with you guys. It'd be like, we're on a little FaceTime call, or, when you want to rant with your friends, so you just send like voice memos to each other. That's the vibe I'm going for. So yeah, we're going to come here once a week, chat some shit, and it's going to be a vibe. Hopefully. But yeah, here we are, episode 1. How was everybody's week, though? Did you guys have a good week? Did you guys have a bad week? If you've had a bad week, fingers crossed for the next, yeah? My week personally was good. I met up with my best friend for the first time in a long time. Chatted some shit, spilled some tea. Important life updates. I don't see her often, but my best friend Crystal, shout out, homegirl. We went to the city and it was quite fun. They had like this little exhibition thing happening called Bubble Planet. Look, that shit was for kids. That shit was absolutely for kids, but I was like, I really want to go. It'd be fun. It'd be cute. So we went and it was definitely for kids. I will tell you that. I get it felt more like just rooms purely made for Instagram. And I mean, I got some good content out of it. That was fun. They had a ball pit there, which if you've seen my Instagram stories, that is dangerous. That thing is dangerous. I'll put a fucking photo up or like a little video. That thing was dangerous. That was a fucking trek to get in. First of all, they send you in as groups and they're like, yeah, you'll get there. You'll get 10 minutes in the ball pit and then we'll tell you when to get out. Baby, as soon as I got in, I was done. It is those balls are heavy and it was hard to get through. I'm tripping over people. I'm like, there are people like falling over next to me and like people kicking me, people running and like, you're not allowed to jump in, but someone jumped in. I seen it and I was like, well, is anybody going to say anything? Because why are you jumping in? Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, there's people everywhere. So many people. And I thought, because like, if you don't live in Sydney, there's this thing that happens every year called Vivid. And it's like a light festival that happens around the city. This Bubble Planet experience, it wasn't through Vivid. It was something completely separate. And it was about 20 minutes away from the city. So I was like, okay, hopefully it's not that busy, right? Wrong. It was so busy. And it made it hard to take some cute photos. But you know what? Me and my bestie, we still had a good time. But that fucking ball pit, that fuck-ass ball pit, no. Never again. That thing is dangerous. I've said it a million times, but I got in there and I was like, we need to get out. I was having an anxiety attack in there. Like, and I don't know who made the concept for the ball pit, but they had like a big head on one end and some fucking feet on the other end. Like this guy, whoever he is in the ball pit, this big person, had his whole dogs out right at the end. And it was just a very strange concept, like altogether. So we were waiting in line longer than what we were in the actual ball pit for. And I was like pissed off. Because no ball pit should be that hard to get through. And it wasn't just me. And it just wasn't just my bestie. Everyone was struggling. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Why is this so hard? Anyway, we skipped that shit and we left. And they had like a whole bunch of other rooms. And it was really cute, actually. It was really fun. It was a bit of a mess, though. And the tickets were expensive. Like, I don't care how much coin I'm making. Like, I did not think it was worth it at all. But, yeah, I mean, for the memories. I don't get to see my best friend often. So, it was cute. It was fun. Yeah, we got some blind boxes, which was cute. I wanted to open them on the podcast on this very first episode, but I didn't know when I was going to film. So, I ended up making a separate video. I have no luck with these things. I need to stop. It's an addiction, and it's an expensive one, by the way. These boxes are not cheap. I think I spent like $65 or $70 on 2 boxes. 2, and I'm probably only going to keep one of them. It's like I'm just throwing money at these companies. Am I going to stop? Maybe not. but it doesn't make it hurt any less. Anyway, at least I can't go wrong with Labubus because it's always the same design, just different colors. It's like a different colorway, but either way they're cute and they're hard to get, obviously, because Labubus are fucking taking over the world. Bro, I was going through TikTok the other day and there's people like fighting over Labubus. I can't lie. I'd probably do the same thing. But I still think it's ridiculous. Because, first of all, it would be ridiculous for me to be in the line in the first place at Pop Mart for a Labubu. Like, no, I will pay. I'll pay reseller prices. I will pay scalper prices. I'm not waiting in line. If you've been on TikTok lately, you've seen how fucking big these Labubus are blown up and how long those lines are. I'm looking at my Labubu on the cupboard. Bitch, expensive. But yeah, like those lines are too fucking long. So no, I will not wait in line for a Labubu. I will pay scalper prices. I will pay reseller prices. Call me stupid, but hey, at least I'm not having a fucking throwdown with people in the line. And trust me, I will. I'm that petty. I will fight someone in the line, especially for a damn Labubu. Those things are cute as shit. It's been very cold, especially in Sydney lately. That's why I've got the blanket on right now. But the cold here is insane. And I don't have a heater yet. I have an aircon. I don't have a heater. And bitch, I'm waking up shivering, shaking, like fucking my toes are iced up. But you know what? I fucking love it. I love it. And I'm eating it up right now. Like, I'll wake up and I'm like shivery, I'm jittery in bed, and I'm like, fuck yes, this is so good. Like, I'm loving it because I fucking hate the heat. I'm a big bitch and it's hard for me to stay cool in the heat. So this cold, man, like I'm shaking right now, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm content, and sometimes I still even will sleep naked and it's like cold. Well, not naked, but like in my underwear. And I'm like, I'm crazy. I'm crazy to some degree for even doing this. Like, if you're in Sydney right now, you know how cold it's been. And I'm loving it. That's all I can say is I'm loving it. And I hope it stays for a little bit longer. I hope it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think we are in winter right now, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, we are, yeah. Okay. Please stay like this. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the heat to come back. Guys, mind you, it is like... Let me have a look. It is 1 a.m. right now. 1 a.m. I have work tomorrow, by the way, guys. So that's cute. What else do I want to talk about? Guys, okay. I have just recently started WeGovy. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. And by the way, before anyone has an opinion on it, I went to my doctor. It's not some fucking under-the-counter, off-the-market shit. Thought about it, but no. I went to my doctor and I asked him, he said, have you tried losing weight? And I said, yes, I have. I might have told a little white lie, but no, like I have. And I think I have like a really bad relationship with food, which I'm working on. But yes, I told him, I'm like, I would like some assistance. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. And he didn't fight me on it at all. He didn't fight me. He's like, okay, that's fine. We'll check your height, we'll check your weight, and we'll see if you're eligible. Because I asked him about Ozempic. And now, obviously, I know about Ozempic. It's only for the diabetics and, blah, blah, blah. And he said, obviously, I can't give you Ozempic because you're not diabetic. But they have WeGovy. And I'm like, girl, whatever you recommend. Whatever's going to give me results. And he said, all right, cool. So he checked my height and weight. He's like, yep. He didn't question it. I think in his mind, he probably was like, bitch, I think you need it. I think you need it. Take it. I'm throwing it at you. But yes, he gave me Wegovy. I'm on the second lowest dosage. And it's been a journey so far. I mean, I'm 3 weeks in to the second lowest dosage. However, I'm having the side effects, but I'm not seeing results. Because the whole thing that it does is, so with Ozempic, it's not, I think from what I read, it's mostly just targeting, trying to control your blood sugar level, whereas Wegovy is just purely for weight loss, and the whole thing behind it is it's supposed to suppress your hunger, so you do still need to, exercise and eat healthy and have a better relationship with food. But I'm hoping that it satisfying my hunger makes it a little bit easier for me to control when I want to eat and how much I'm eating. So we'll see how it goes. I do think once this pen is finished. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, by the way, hello. It's a pen with 4 needles. And each pen, I think, I'm paying $260 a month. The pen that you have is 4 weeks worth of Wegovy medicine. And you inject it mostly into your stomach, but you can inject it into like your arms and your thighs, whatever. And so one pen is $260 and it'll last you a month, and then you have to go and get it again and again and again. It's not cheap, but it's if it's gonna work, I'm happy to pay. So yes, I'm on my 3rd dosage at the moment. I've got 1 more left, and then I'm hoping when I go back, I'm able to get on a higher dosage. I mean, basically the only advice my doctor gave me was like, if you're really, really sick on it, stop it. And I've been okay. I think I got really, really nauseous the first day. And a couple of days after that, and every now and again I'll get like really, really nauseous, and then it's just like really, really bad diarrhea. But it's been okay for the most part. So I personally think it's easy to deal with. I'm not too taken out by the side effects. So yeah, I'm hoping by upping the dosage, it's not upping the side effects. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. And it's been a journey. I'm ready. I'm ready for my skinny era. I'm ready to be a little speck of dust wandering in the wind, So if you come on to the next episode or the next few episodes or whenever I get on that higher dosage and you don't see me on the screen but you hear me, just know that Ozempic's working. But yeah, I've had a lot of like ups and downs with my weight. Literally the scale being up and down. I remember when, I think it was back in like 2015, 2016, I tried the meal replacement shakes. Optifast. I tried Optifast and that shit was crazy because I'm pretty sure that unlocked like an eating disorder. At the time, I didn't realize that it could be an eating disorder, but I eventually got out of it. But basically, when you do the meal replacement shakes, you're only having 3 shakes a day. And those shakes, man, they don't fill you up. So you have 1 shaker in the morning, 1 shaker in the afternoon, 1 for dinner. And to combat that hunger, you have to drink a lot of water. And then you have to exercise and drink more water. And I did just the shakes. So the plan that they give you, you start off on 3 shakes a day. And then eventually you will slowly start to incorporate certain fruits, certain vegetables. And then you can incorporate like a meal, a full meal. And then you slowly, It's a whole thing. It's like, I think altogether I was on it for maybe a year. Not all 3 shakes, 3 times a day. But that whole weight loss skinny era was about a year. I was doing just 3 shakes a day for a few months. Yes. And I noticed the weight coming off very, very quickly, which obviously, as I'm sure a lot of you know now, it's not safe and it's not long-term effective. Which is probably the same for WeGovy, but I feel like I'm hopefully learning from the first mistake. And I hopefully won't make that mistake again, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I was on those shakes for a few months and I noticed a difference very, very quickly. And then I slowly started to incorporate veggies, fruits, like a salad, and slowly was having like a sweet treat every now and again, healthy sweet treats. And it got to the point where I was seeing the results and I was really, really happy and I didn't want to lose that. So if I broke, my diet and I'd had something to eat that I probably shouldn't have, it got so bad. Like, I would take laxatives. And it would just run straight through me. And it got to the point where, because with being on WeGovy, I'm not checking the scales. I'm mostly basing it off of how I feel, how much I'm eating, how I'm looking. I don't want to base it on a number. Now, I don't know if that's the best idea or not because I don't really know if it's working, but that was a big, big problem with my Optifast phase. Was a lot of the times I was jumping on that scale and I had a median of about 102 kilos to 105. And if I was anywhere out that, like over, I would have a meltdown. So I would check the scales anywhere between 102 to 105. I'm like, great, cool. I'd eat something, hello, and then I'd jump back on the scale and I've gained like 1.5 kilos and I'm like having a breakdown. Like, that isn't completely normal. But yeah, and then I would pop a few laxatives, wait like 20 minutes, and I've shut it out. I'd go back and check the scales. I'm sorry if this is TMI, but like, yeah, I'd go back and check the scales, and yeah, I'd be back to this. It would fluctuate a lot, and it was really, really bad. And I got into that habit. I got into like, this was one of the healthier habits, but like I would walk an hour every single day, and rain, hail or shine, bro, I was making sure I did my hour walk. And because I wasn't working at the time, it was easier for me to get into the habit of doing all of this. And so I did that for about a year. Like, so it would be like 30-degree weather outside, and I would be wearing like 3 tops and like long tracksuit pants. Yeah, in 30-degree heat, I was walking up hills, I was jogging, and I made sure if I didn't do a full hour, then I would make up for that the next day. In the heat, in the rain, in the cold, I was doing it every day. And I mean, I seen results. I seen really good results. And it wasn't the healthiest thing because I wanted to beat myself up every time I ate something. But yeah, the way that I looked was a lot better than the way that I felt, because I was eating that many laxatives. I was eating those like candy, bro. And constant tummy aches, fucking red raw asshole all the time. And yeah, I felt like shit all the time, but I looked good. Body tea. I was eating the house down. Not literally, but yes, I was eating. I ate. And at the time, I was like, I didn't see a problem with it. And yeah, I can't remember how I stopped. I think I just decided like I didn't want to keep feeling like shit. I think I got a full-time job and I wasn't able to dedicate. Like I would work all day. This is when I worked at the warehouse. I was lifting heavy shit all day, every day. I'd come home. I'd be too tired to go for a walk. I'd just want to have dinner and go to bed. Like I was hungry. I couldn't just sleep because that was one of the things that I was doing a lot of during, the Optifast phase, was when I was hungry, instead of, trying, like, being up and about and getting active, I would sleep. And because I didn't have a job, I could sleep at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. When I was hungry, I could wake up, I could have my shake, I could have like a whole fucking liter of water and go back to bed. So no wonder why it worked. But yeah, once I got my job, I wasn't able to commit to these hour walks that I was doing. I wasn't able to stick to just not eating because, I've worked a long day. I want to come home and have a meal. And I slowly pulled myself out of it. But yeah, it got really bad. I thought it was so normal for me to just, pop a couple laxatives and, go about my day. With a red raw asshole, by the way. Oh my God. But yeah, that was that era. And I'm hoping that WeGovy works to a slower pace. I don't have like a set time frame to where I want to lose weight. I just am wanting to be on this medication, seeing changes slowly. And I kind of did. I think after like 2 weeks of taking the medication, I noticed that I had a lot more energy. I wasn't as tired all the time. Look, I still do get tired. I still do want to sleep on my days off and bed rot. But yeah, I feel like I have a lot more energy throughout the day since being on the medication. So, I mean, a win's a win. I'm going to take it for what it is. I do love a good bed rot. I love to be in bed watching Netflix. Now, I need some good TV show recommendations, and I don't want basic things. I don't want, like, Stranger Things. I don't want Wednesday. I don't want Squid Games. It's so popular, I get it. But I need like some underrated gems. I need some hidden gems. I don't really have a specific genre of a show that I like. I mean, if the premise is good, I'll check it out. But please go onto this Instagram. I have an Instagram for the podcast at Talking Kaka Podcast. Send me some recommendations because I need more shows to watch. I'm not watching anything at the moment. Send me some recommendations. What have I been watching lately? I've just been watching YouTube lately, and it got to the point where I pay for YouTube Premium, y'all. That's how much I watch. That's how much I watch YouTube. I can't believe I pay for it, but yes, I pay for YouTube Premium. No ads. I can download videos and, watch them offline. What am I watching on YouTube? Because that could give you guys a good idea of what to recommend me. So I am in preparation for this podcast. I've been watching a lot of podcasts. Okay, this is going to sound really cringy and very pick-me, but I have been enjoying true crime documentaries. True crime, yes. But it's not like, those really like over-dramatized Netflix ones, like where they can like blow it out of proportion. It's usually just like someone, like a reporter or a content creator, just reporting on the facts. And please, oh my God, if you're recommending true crime, do not give me one. I hate unsolved mysteries. I hate an unsolved mystery. because I don't want to dedicate my time to watching this, and then it gets to the end and it's like, and the killer was never found. I don't want that. I don't want to waste my time with that. So yes, don't recommend me anything like that. I need a start and end with a conclusion. That's what I need. So just a little tip. I've actually also, one of the podcasts that I've been watching is it's a podcast called the Basement Yard Boys, or the Basement Yard, something like that. But they have a podcast, and I fucking love their podcast. I don't know their names, but they're hilarious and they're very gay for each other. And I have a crush on both of them. Eiffel Tower, Till the Room Stinks, yes. But Joey, the white guy, he has a separate podcast where basically it's like people calling into the podcast. He has a different co-host on this one, but people call into the show and it's like the most unhinged shit you've ever heard. Like the very first episode that I watched, trigger warning, was like an actual convicted pedophile. And basically he was calling to... What was he talking about? He wanted to talk about how he is not a pedophile anymore, I guess, basically. And how he wishes that he had more support in prison, and that he wishes he had access to like a counselor or a therapist or a psychologist or something in prison, because when he was in there, he was only able to see a psychologist like once a month or something like that. But he went in there claiming like, oh, you know, basically, okay, we'll break it down from the start. Back in the days, I don't know about anyone who's watching, but yes, we would obviously torrent and illegally download our movies, our TV shows, everything like that. So we would do that on LimeWire or like any kind of torrent website, but he mentioned LimeWire. He went to go download a TV show, not a TV show, like a song or a TV show episode or a movie, or I don't know. He was downloading something on LimeWire, and it turns out it was accidentally CP, child porn, and he recounts it in a lot of detail, like just how that was like the eye-opening moment for him, and it was very, very strange. Like you would listen to it and you can just hear like him reminiscing about that day and how much it's a lot. But yes, he's like, oh, you know, that was really the start of it, and it was purely an accident, and then it spiraled into him actively looking for more CP. What? But mind you, he worked with children at a church. Anyway, so even the hosts were questioning him. They were like, you know, you obviously know about the stigma behind priests and the churches and all that. And he's like, yeah, I remember. I was reading up on it because my computer had so many viruses that it just shut down completely. So I went to take it to the IT team to have a look at it, knowing all this CP was on there. He's like, but I remember reading that, you know, the church doesn't want this negative backlash because of the stigma behind the church and priests already. So that if something like that was to happen, they would solve it silently. And he was like, you know, I was delusional, and I thought, you know, if I took it to the IT team and they found it on there, that they would just tell the principal or whoever's in charge, and they would punish me in the church, but they wouldn't report me. I felt like it'd be okay. Stupid ass. This stupid ass man. Anyway, he takes it in there They see it, they report his ass, and he goes to jail. So he didn't actually SA anyone. That doesn't make it okay. But yes, he ended up going to jail because obviously it's illegal. You can't have like that kind of shit on your computer, obviously. But yeah, he was like trying to advocate for more help, more psychological help, more therapists, just more what's the word I'm looking for? Just more support, I guess, in prison for sex offenders and child predators. And it's so weird because even the hosts were asking him, they were like, you know, if you didn't get caught, do you feel like it eventually would have progressed? Because he likes to claim that he is reformed and he's rehabilitated and he's spoken to people and he's gotten help, and you know, he's claiming that he hasn't looked at CP since before he went to prison. And it really raises the question of like, can you really be rehabilitated or cured for something like that? I don't know. And the host had, like I said, the host had asked him, if you weren't caught, would it have spiraled into something deeper, into something more serious? And he's like, oh, absolutely. What? Oh, it's honestly, it's a very interesting podcast. And like the scenarios, they're not even scenarios because they're real people. The scenarios or the situations or the people that are calling in, some of them are just so crazy. Like, just again, trigger warning. There was a guy who, he was a school shooter. So he calls up and he talks about his experience being the school shooter. There are people that call up that swear like their grandparents are murderers, or, and it gets to like really like kinky stuff as well. Like there's this guy actually that's like really into race play, as a black person. So it's like all those like really unhinged things that would trigger anyone, and he gets off on it. And what else is there? There's so many. It's just like they've been doing it for years, and holy shit, it's an interesting watch, and I recommend it. The name of it is Other People's Lives. So if you're looking for a recommendation, not me asking for recommendations and I've got a recommendation for you. Anyway, it's called Other People's Lives. And what was the latest one I watched? It was a girl who was, she has like a fetish of eating shit. Scat play. That's the name for it. Scat play. And she got into like a lot of detail about it. Like how she got into it, how she realized she even liked it, some of the things that she's done. And I think she's like a professional, like I think she's like an actual content creator. And she does like scat play videos. I don't kink shame, babe. You do whatever you want to do, as long as you're safe. And she advocated for that a lot, which was, I mean, it's hard for me to not be judgmental, but I mean, she was very respectful. She wasn't like, I don't know, she was bragging, but she wasn't. She was very educated. She knew like the kind of risks that come from activities like scat play, and you know, you do really see it from their perspective. I think everyone that calls in on the show are very most of them are very good with their words. They're very respectful in the way that they talk about their problems or their kinks or fetishes or their situations, and it's really interesting to watch. Once I'm done, I'm probably going to go watch a few more episodes, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, that's my recommendation for you guys today. Go check it out. But definitely take this as a trigger warning. Some of the things on there are crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. It makes me glad that I'm single. But also not. Because, like, I need a man. Because I'm, like, not lonely, but, like, it would be nice to have a man. But then at the same time, men really ain't shit. And if you've been on Grindr, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's why I've tried to stay away from those apps for a long time. It doesn't work all the time. So before any of you gays that know me try to clock me, I am still on the apps. I still have accounts, but I'm not actively meeting up. I think I've been celibate. Okay, that's a lie, but I've been trying. I've been trying to be celibate. And because the people on those kind of apps, now if you don't know what apps I'm talking about Tinder, I'm talking about Bumble, I'm talking about Grindr. Now, for the straighties who maybe don't know what Grindr is, it's not a dating app. Let's clear that up right now. It is not a dating app, it is a hookup app. And there are a lot of characters on there. Yeah, a lot of characters. I need to dedicate a whole episode to just talking about my experiences on Grindr, because every gay guy that is on that app has had some sort of crazy unhinged experience. And yeah, we got to talk about that. But yes, for those of you who don't know what Grindr is, like I said, it's a hookup app, but it's not like Tinder. Tinder, you get it'll tell you how many kilometers away people are. It's like a general distance. Grindr is very, very different. You can open the app and it'll tell you, so it's like a grid. It's not like Tinder where you swipe left and right. It's a grid. And it'll show you the people that are closest to you. It'll show them closest to you on the grid as well. And when you click it, depending on their privacy, but like, it'll literally tell you if someone's like 20 meters away from you. Not only is it weird, but it's also very dangerous. I don't like the app, but I'm on it, and a lot of crazies are too. And a lot of straight men. Straight. Like, I think the reason why I'm still on the app is because I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious as to, like, who I'm going to see on that app. Because I'm nosy. But, like, it almost always provides. I have seen so many people on that app that I shouldn't have, which also is, like, a double-edged sword situation for me, because a lot of them are straight men. And then that's when it brings me to this dilemma where it's like, do I expose them? But it's like, do I want to expose them for being cheating pieces of shit? Yes. But in doing that, I would also have to out someone, and just, I don't want to do that. Like, me personally, my coming out, it was barely even a coming out. Everybody already knew. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm seeing someone, I'm going on a date with someone. And that was it. I never really came out like, oh my God, I'm a homosexual. No, that's not what I had to do. And I understand that people will fight tooth and nail to keep this secret. And some people don't have the support system that I have. So that's the double-edged sword that I have. But it's also like, at the same time, you have a wife and kids. Like, you should not be on this app. You're a cheating piece of shit. You deserve to be exposed. But I just can't do it. I would never, ever want to out someone. Like, I remember every time I was in school, when I was still in the closet, like, every time someone asked me, that was like the... like, my fucking heart would sink into my stomach every time. And there was this one kid, every single time I see him, Mitchell, bitch, don't think I forgot. Every time I seen him, it's like, are you gay? Are you sure you're not gay? Like, girl, if I was gay, I would have told you the first time you asked. Anyway, I can't do it. So, it's just a very tricky situation, and that's what worries me about that app is like, yeah, I'm too nosy and I always want to see who's on there, but it's like, what am I really going to do? It's like, what am I really going to do if I do see someone on there that I shouldn't? I just hate the app altogether. And I've had crazy experiences on it as well. Experiences that I will talk about at some point, but holy shit. I have to save that for another episode. I don't even know how long we've been recording. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute. If you're still here, tune in next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about. We will wing it and we'll just go episode by episode. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys listening. We'll see what happens. This has been episode 1 of Talking Kaka. Be sure to follow the Instagram at Talking Kaka podcast. Yeah. This has been episode 1. This is crazy. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for being here. Have a good night. Or a good day. Or a good evening. Whenever the fuck you're watching this episode, have a good one. Goodbye, bitch.